It's the inside edge that saved him. Some excitement already in Taijul Islam's first over. 164 for 2. Lead of 24 for Zimbabwe. Okay, approaching that 100 milestone in just his third test match. Ibadat Hussain replaces Khalid Ahmed from the golf course end. Will he get some movement from the surface? Good start.
You're talking about good start. It was a good start for Taijul Islam today and even yesterday. 10 overs for none for 18. Sharp turn available on Damon, which is a big surprise for me. And he could have held on to this. It would have been a different story. That's how it goes. Again, sharp turn and bounce. Now, that's one of the reasons why during that pre-show, if you remember, Tina Movayo, I did mention I would like to see him open the bowling. Maybe over from Khalid and then straight away from the other end. Taijul Islam. Again, couple of runs, easy runs. I also thought Khalid Ahmed bowled well. He's been taken off, but he was pretty impressive picking up a wicket. He bowled just 5 overs out of about 2 a maiden. So 1 for 10 for his first spell this morning. He picked up the other wicket yesterday. Only 2 wickets, and both of them to Khalid Ahmed.
Just to finish up on the conversation we were having a couple of overs ago on maybe why Bangladesh bowlers haven't quite got the ball to move around. It was the same for the Zimbabwean bowlers in the morning of day 1 yesterday. But it was only when Ngaraba and Muzarabani in particular came back later and had understood that they just need to get that ball up in a good area in terms of length that they managed to get the ball to move around. I think the most consistent was the young bowler who got a couple of wickets as well, Nyamuri. And I think the extra pace that Nyamuri had also did cause a couple of problems for the batters. And that was the difference. Here he is. He's worked very hard on his game as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Ibadat, now who's been given a chance this morning, will be able to extract something from here.
Yeah, Nyamuri was the one who changed the game on its head because Bangladesh were well placed at 113 for 2 when he picked up the wicket of all-important wicket of Momin ul-Haq, ending up picking a 4 for.
He has smashed that. Has Brian Bennett. Strong on the pull shot. Convincing stroke.
This is his first over. It's too short and too easy for him. And usually you'd see a short ball being pulled away towards the square leg area. That's gone on top of between mid-wicket and mid-on. He gets so much time. Not the right length. 171 for 2.
And that's how the partnership went for Bangladesh. And it was one of 30 between Shadman and Mominul, and then the captain and Mominul 77. And after that was broken just after the lunch break. And the Bangladesh batters capitulated.
Well, the seamers have done not a lot, but all eyes will be on Tajul Islam. He's been impressive. He's played that fine, and he should pick up a boundary, and he does.
That's well played. Particularly because he hasn't tried to go square. He's gone fine, so he gets the gap in the field and gets 4. And he's 3 away. Is Innocent �ဣ𝐜𝐡.
You're wrong line. Just when you're thinking that he's tightening the screws, and he goes down the leg side and he releases a boundary. Now that's where he needs to bowl. Over and over again. We've spoken about quite a lot about consistency. And if he can bowl in that area on a consistent basis, surely, sooner than later, I'll be able to pick up a wicket. The question is, can he bowl? Yeah, I would also like to see Shanto go a little bit proactive, because he is batting on 97 and the fielder is still that long off, and that's an easy single. With that single, he moves on to 98. No real pressure.
Good run. Good early call from Bennett, and well responded by his partner �ဣ𝐜𝐡.
Straight away, the call was very quick indeed, because it was just to the right of Hassan Mahmood's fielding at mid-on. Back on strike.
Nice.
177 for 2. Curran looked good for his 42 yesterday, until he just fended one off into the cordon with the man who's been outstanding for Zimbabwe, Innocent �ဣ𝐜𝐡. Couple away from a maiden test match 100.
No.
And how well deserved it will be. Brian Bennett, who was the opener prior to �ဣ𝐜𝐡 coming into the test side now, or coming back into the test side, should I say, moves to number 4. And I think that's a good call from the Zimbabwean change room, allows him just to play with a little bit more freedom, when you would hope that the ball's a little bit older when he walks out to bat. Should be able to squeeze a couple in here. They'll think about 3. There's an opportunity to do so. Good running from both of these batters. More importantly, it gets Innocent Kahia on strike. 98 not out. And an opportunity to record his first Test match century. They've kept backward square on the offside boundary. That takes him to 99.
Now, what a great feeling would that be for Khaya. What about Brian Bennett? Remember the last time Zimbabwe toured in the Test match against Bangladesh when they were over there? Back-to-back 50s as an opener. And the result went in their favor. They went on to win that particular Test match. There you go. You got sub strike, and Khaya is on 99.
.99 not out. Mushfiqur Rahim comes in from deep square to square leg to save the single. So does backward point on the boundary into a point position. Ibadat Hussain to Innocent Kahia, 99. What a beauty. The umpire says no ball on bat.
What a delivery. They think there was a bit of a bat. What matters the most is what the umpire thinks. That is a pitch. That is a beautiful delivery. The keeper, Hamid Hassan, reacted straight away. He remains on 99.
Well, he couldn't have bowled a better delivery to a batter who's on 99, Ibadat Hussain. There you go. What a wonderful way to record your first Test match 100. Against all the odds, through all the diversity in the last couple of seasons, Harare Sports Club, take a bow. Innocent Kahia gets himself 100. 103 not out. And what an outstanding innings from a man who's got a great future in Zimbabwean cricket. 186 for 2. It's time for a drink.
Ceremony instantly taking opportunity for over 60 countries. Financial partner. Let you move to the Kuru activation ball, so
Zimbabwe going great guns. At the moment, they are 46 in lead. But more than that, it's Innocent Kaya on his maiden test match 100. What an innings it has been. And he's shown real talent. He's shown a lot of focus. Great with that new ball yesterday. Again, this testing first hour today. The new ball has shorter length to him. He's so strong with that pull shot. His eyes lit up. Well played, man. What an innings.
I've loved the way that he's just held it together for Zimbabwe as they got across the 140 that Bangladesh made in their first innings. Full bowlers used today, Mahmood was actually the one who caused problems early on. But it was Khaled who picked up his second wicket this morning. Zimbabwe lead by 46, built on that 103 not out by Innocent Kaya. Brian Bennett, new man in, looking good at 20 from just 24.
Just giving it a charge and a boundary. He'll surely would like to now call the shots. The good thing for Zimbabwe is that you got an attacking batter as his partner. Bennett will seek any opportunity to score and keep that pressure on from his side.
Takes a lead to 50 with that strike through extra cover. He gets an awareness that there's a length that Tajul Islam, he can land it consistently in that area. This area is going to cause problems.
You go back to that boundary from Bennett. Don't say that it's an aggressive approach. He's very calculated, coming down the track, covering the line of the ball. And use of feet against spin always works. Just met the ball early. Here you go. Just a little bit of extra flight, and that allowed him to just come out of his crease and play it along with the spin. Good shot, good calculated risk, if you want to call it. We've seen that from last evening as well. He likes to play off the back foot, and he's done well for himself playing Tajul in that manner. It's just that sometimes the ball keeps a bit low. Be a little careful on that. But a test match 100, Darlington, that's something he'll remember for a long time. That's his maiden test match 100.
Can't remember a boring minute within that innings. He's kept us entertained throughout. Pull shots early on against the Quicks when he first arrived at the crease. That crunching back foot drive square of the wicket through the offside. And solid defense. 191 for 2.
they're getting there in terms of run rate. They were very good, 4.5, 5 yesterday. They did slow down in the last half an hour or so, just trying to make sure they don't lose any wicket before the end of the day's play. Their overall run rate is also pretty much the same, 3.98. So it's just creeping up back to 4 and maybe 4.5. With Bennett also now doing well. He's almost a run a ball, 25 of 26. You're coming back to Innocent Kaia's 100, and you talked about not a dull moment in that knock. It's so smart, you know, when it's least expected out of you. Nobody's expecting you. Got your best to 67 before this. And it's not like that you are that superstar player that the opposition is looking at to attack. Just go about within your zone, within your capability, your skill, backing yourself, and making sure that you spring a surprise in front of the opposition. And he did that with the way he was scoring runs at a very healthy rate.
Another partnership, another 50 partnership that Innocent Kaia is involved in. This time with Brian Bennett, who's 26 from 27 and has come off just 61 deliveries. Just after tea yesterday afternoon, he came in and he got into his business immediately, pull shots. And my favorite area of scoring is square of the wicket on the leg side. And he's got shots all around the ground as Innocent Kaia, and that deft leg cut and power down the ground as well. And that's the moment that brings up his first Test match 100. Yeah. High scores was first Test match 100, 104 not out against Bangladesh. 67 was his previous best against the West Indies. Had a good series, just got a few starts and that not able to convert them. This time he manages to do just that.
I'm thinking, what can �ဣ-𝐴 do different? You know that the wickets are very hard to get by, so maybe a couple of field positions, someone in the eye line of the batter, just to play around with their concentration levels. Also approaching the lunch break, so the batters do think they want to play the session out.
I've seen in domestic cricket how teams deal with Brian Bennett, always have catches at extra cover, hits in the air there occasionally. So I think that's a good call you've made there, Sikandar.
And the shot does tell you that he won't shy away. 195 for 2. I don't think there has been a session that has gone to Bangladesh. The first one, 76 for 2, you'd probably say shared a little bit. But then after that, Zimbabwe hasn't looked back.
But Daly had wanted to use the moisture that's always available at Harare Sports Club early on. 9:30 start. Would have usually wanted to pick up maybe 2 or 3 wickets with that. Only managed the one so far.
Now that's what can happen to you when you go on that back foot against 𝐈-𝐓𝐞𝐝. There will be a delivery or two that'll be keep touch low, and you might not find yourself covering the line properly.
It's been his preferred positioning, isn't it? This time he's allowed her to go past the outside edge.
Bangladesh have put themselves in a situation where they're testing their own players' ability. We spoke about how they've got their frontline bowlers, they've got their tail up, Taskeen, Nahid Rana. They've left them behind in this one-off test. They've given Khalid and Ibadat and others the opportunity here. And you can't say that they bowled badly or anything. It's just a very special knock from 𝐻𝐡. And a very responsible small knocks coming in from Bennett and then earlier from Taylor. And Karan, not to forget. Down the wicket and just past that fielder. 200 comes up for Zimbabwe with that shot. They batted 50 overs to get to 200 for 2. Exactly 4 runs and over with 200 runs on the board. And they batted for 50 overs. And did really well to almost get rid of that first innings lead yesterday itself.
Continue to take quick singles. And Bennett, I think just the boundary from the last delivery of that 𝐻𝐡 over. Didn't find the middle of the bat. Again, he uses the feet. Just closed the face on contact. Must have had his heart in his mouth for a moment. But clears mid-on eventually.
I don't think 𝐻𝐡 would mind that. He would want him to go after him. That would create an opportunity. It did almost.
The partnership now is 58 from 73 deliveries. And Bennett got into his work immediately. Some glorious shots through the offside. 𝐻𝐡 as well. And off the back foot, very strong. 2 good pullers of a cricket ball. 𝐻𝐡 using the sweep to good effect. That brought up the 100 for 𝐻𝐡. And Bennett's not been shy to use his feet against 𝐻𝐡.
Whoa.
Darlington, what's also been good is that the Zimbabwe support staff or their coaches have also allowed these batters to express themselves. There's not too much information coming from outside gloves or anything. When they're approaching landmarks, 𝐻𝐡 getting to his 100 or Brian trying to attack the bowlers. They're just letting them be because they feel that it's best for Zimbabwe if we allow them to play to their strengths. You can easily get excited when you get in a good position. And you start having opinions and you want to share them, but I think it's been very, very systematic. Just let the batting and then the ability of anyone coming out there take the team forward.
You're absolutely right. They've displayed trust in the players, the young players in particular. From Inyamuri, Bennett's young, just 21. And Innocent Kaya, older, but just in his 4th test match.
No run.
Next man in, Craig Irvin, the oldest player in the team. And he knows he's got a very important role to play later on, hopefully later on, as Zimbabwe need to get a good first innings lead. Tafadzwa Tsiga's got 500s in Logan Cup this season. He's in really, really good touch, yet to get a test match 50. And then Wesley Madevere at 7.
Yeah, the man in the deep cannot do anything about that. He'll go race past him for a boundary. That was timed brilliantly by Bennett. 205 for 2. It's all about partnerships, no matter what format you're playing. And they've done very well. 89, 54, 62 and counting. Yeah, good call there. That just frustrates the fielding captain. There's so many men around the bat, you still end up conceding a single.
Such a good shot. Look how he stands up and gets over this delivery and absolutely crunches it away square of the wicket. It's the 3rd time we've seen him score in that area.
Yeah, there'll be more runs, at least a couple. You know what's worrying for Shanto is the way the scoring is just increasing in terms of run rate. Now it's gone to 4.05. They started off at 3.5 on when the day began. So even when they got that wicket of Brendan Taylor, they've not been able to stem the run flow. You'd probably expect a new batter is coming in and you'll try and attack him more and feel that, let him consume a lot of deliveries. Slightly uppish, but Bennett hasn't allowed that.
It just looks like he's in very good form, very confident, very comfortable with his game at the moment. 39 from 42. Been really harsh on Tajul Islam in particular. This time in the air, but it's safely into a gap.
They put on 75 runs today, Zimbabwe. And they've lost 1 wicket in the process.
Save it.
And into another over. 211 for 2.
211 for two. Strong position. Zimbabwe lead by 71.
Don't think that Zimbabwe is actually discussing how many would be enough. Got 8 wickets in hand and plenty of time in this test match, and you probably look to bat the opposition out. And they can afford to think in that fashion because of the number of wickets they've got available and 2 set batters. So don't think that they are having a target or a total somewhere. Yeah, had it been a day ahead into day 3, then probably they'll start thinking that they need to allow their bowlers enough time also to get the opposition.
Yeah, probably just thinking of batting through today with no real targets in mind. Might just have an idea of thinking maybe they want to be pushing it at around 3.5, maybe 4 runs and over, maybe even more. I don't think that really have a number in mind to say we want to be at, say, 450 to the end of the second session of play.
The only thing that they will keep in mind is to have enough runs in this first innings of theirs, because they need to bat last.
Just probably going down the leg side from Ebadot Hussain this time. I think you're right. They wouldn't want to have to chase a really big score at all in that fourth innings. You want to make all your runs in this first innings.
Yeah, he's so good with that. He loves playing that shot. Maybe it's gone a lot finer than he would have liked, but he's got himself a boundary there.
He really waits for it, lets it come on to him. And it's almost gone past and behind him before he actually makes contact with it. And so turns it into a very, very safe option. Every time he's just outside the line of the off stump.
Right enough.
10.5 overs for 67. In helpful conditions. Ebadot Hussain has been a little expensive here. About his sports club. Great delivery to finish. 216 for 2.
How important it is to get a good first innings total to be in the game, and that exactly what Zimbabwe is trying to do here. Also to capitalize on this occasion that they've got the opposition out for just 140. When you listen to different successful batters around the world in this format, and most of them in different words say that their formula has been that they allow themselves time to get their eye in and settle themselves and bat session after session. But the most important thing, oh, that one kept low. If the bowling unit is bowling very well, just take your time, and once they have tired legs, then you start scoring against them. And you mentioned about it being a little expensive. That's what happens because Shanto cannot continuously bowl Khalid or Hassan. So that's what the batter is thinking. He's going to bowl a spell of what, 5 overs, 6 overs, and then I'm going to come back and score runs.